How a bumbling hitman wrecked the Islamic Republic's assassination attempt. There is nothing I love more than hearing about the low professionalism and poor OPSEC of Iranian transnational repression and assassination attempts. Okay, so let's talk about this idiot. In a plot that reads like a dark comedy of errors, Khaled Mehdiyev, a 27-year-old Azerbaijani immigrant working at a Brooklyn pizza shop, pleaded guilty to attempting to assassinate prominent Iranian-American journalist and regime critic Masih Alinejad on behalf of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Hired by mobsters Rafat Amirov and Polad Omarov, no, Amirov and Omarov, who allegedly received their orders from IRGC Brigadier General Ruhollah Bazghandi. Mehdiev's bundled hit attempt included loitering outside of Alinejad's house for days, ordering food while staking her out. He's getting delivery to his stakeout car. And even failing to stop at a stop sign, which ended up leading to his arrest, where he had a ski mask and an AK-47 in the backseat. Okay. While grilled in court, defense attorney, so this is the defense attorney for the mobsters in charge of the hitman, um, asked the hitman mockingly, "As you're coordinating an international kidnapping, you're also working at a pizza shop?" To which Medvedev flatly replied, "That's correct." His texts to Alinejad shown in court, such as "You the best journalist" and "Do you can help for that?" only added to the absurdity of the failed plot. In March 2025, Medvedev formally pleaded guilty to attempted murder and firearms charges and began cooperating with federal authorities. He faces a minimum of 15 years in prison. That same month, Amirov and Omarov were convicted on charges including murder for hire and racketeering. They are scheduled to be sentenced in September. So we don't know how long they'll be sentenced for, but they're found guilty. This case once again highlights how the Iranian regime uses criminal gangs to silence dissidents, even if it means relying on amateurish thugs with pizza shifts. Okay, so let me give a full breakdown here. Go
By
ahead.
the way, just before you do, for people, so we the update with this case is that we just had a court hearing and the guy just gave us a lot of information. So this is the same failed attempt as assassinating Masih Alinejad that you heard before. The reason why we're talking about it now is just because we just recently had the court and there was a lot of information revealed. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
So this assassination attempt happened in July of 2022, which is very shortly before the, Woman Life Freedom uprising. And so and the hearing in court finally happened. So we get all these new details exposed, and what started as this assassination attempt that we heard about back in 2022, this is kind of the conclusion now, right? Like they've been brought to justice. So there's so much interesting stuff that came out in this court case, and I'm going to try my best to give you the juiciest details. So let me start from the beginning. One, we know that this originated from the IRGC. This is not a speculation anymore like it was in the beginning. We know for a fact this
They
originated
ad-
from
they
they
admitted
text
it. They
exchanges.
admitted.
They were pulling all the data and the metadata from their clouds and the WhatsApp and the everything. And so they know that this came from orders from an IRGC brigadier general. And this IRGC brigadier general basically went to these two Russian mobsters, or these two Azerbaijanis who are part of the Russian mob. And he went to these two guys and he said, "I'm going to pay you $500,000 for you to go kill this woman." So these two guys who are overseas, they go to, again, these are Azerbaijani nationals, but they're part of the Russian mob. And basically the Islamic Republic has been known to outsource their assassinations and stuff to the Russian mob before. They also outsource their hits to the Hells Angels in Canada, but that's a different story. So they are trying to outsource their assassination to the Russian mob. They talk to these two mobsters, okay? And they're going to pay them $500,000. So these two mobsters go find this guy who's living in the United States. He's from Azerbaijan, but he's an immigrant to the United States. He's a young guy, and he has a dream This young man, young Khaled, he has a dream of being a Russian mob boss one day. I'm not even kidding. He he's part of the Russian mob. He's an aspiring mobster. And they come to him and they're like, "We want you to go kill this journalist, and we're gonna pay you $30,000 to go kill this journalist." And he's like, "Okay, cool, do it." So he's
Wait, well, how did we get from 500,000 to 30,000?
because this is the Russian mob, baby. Okay, we're getting cut. We're getting ripped off.
So wait, so the Iranian regime paid them 500,000, and
Or
they took that
promised
half
them.
a
I don't know if
million.
it was paid. They found like banknotes and
Okay,
stuff. I don't know if it
but
was
they
paid. It
hired
was promised.
people. So they paid only 30,000, and they wanted to keep the rest, basically.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, wow. So they were.
But then
This is why it
they're
didn't happen.
incentivized to hire someone that would only take 30,000, and they find this dumbass who's this guy working at a pizza shop in Brooklyn who has dreams of being a Russian mobster. And so he basically fucks up this whole
Yes.
thing. And what's funny is after he gets caught and arrested, and before the news starts coming out, they know that it's blown. They know that it's blown before it even gets published, right? And they're texting each other about how the fat one is gonna fuck up everything for them. So
Wow.
basically, this guy is an idiot, and he's like staking out outside of Masih Alinejad's house. She was already under FBI protection at the time, living at this house in Flatbush, and he is just being way too obvious about his attempts to surveil her because the Russian mobsters above him, or Azerbaijani is part of the Russian mob. Anyways, they have all this intelligence on her, and they're passing intelligence on her to him. So about like kind of where she goes for groceries, her whereabouts, her timing, like all this stuff. So he's supposed to go stake her out, and he's like in this parked car kind of trying to profile her house, and he's ordering delivery food to his car where he's doing a stakeout.
This is
And
crazy.
meanwhile, he's trying to text Masi and like trying to send her messages.
He's texting his own target.
Yeah, like trying to get close to
Why?
her and being like, "You're the best
Okay.
journalist," like, and in broken English, like basically like, "Can you help me?" Like sending her messages and all this stuff. And you know, she just is probably ignoring it. Yeah, Sarah is saying me as a hitman. And he's like, I was trying to get close to her.
Oh my god.
Basically, what he ends up doing one day is he literally goes up one day and is like going on her property, and she sees him one day, and he's like knocking on the doorbell. There's one day where he's like interacting with the Ring camera, he's knocking on the door, like just straight up going to the house and looking in the windows, like doo doo doo. And then
The
one
most
day Masi
obvious
is at
hitman
her
ever.
house and she's like taking care of her plants in her garden or something, and she sees this guy standing in the sunflowers, and she talks about looking at him in the eye as he's kind of like taking photos of the house and the flowers, and she's like looks him in the eye and is like, something's not right. And she goes and reports him to the FBI. At first, she wasn't going to say anything because apparently it was normal for the neighbors to love the flowers and to be taking photos of the flowers. So she was kind of like, oh, okay. But then she just had this instinct that something wasn't right. So she reports him to the FBI. The FBI starts trailing him, and it just so happens that he runs a red light. So they have an excuse to pull him over. When they pull him over, they find
Oh
that
my
he has
god.
ammunition, an AK, a ski mask, all this shit in his car, and they arrest him, and all the stuff starts to get exposed. So in court, you know,
And they asked
yeah,
they
go ahead.
asked him, why do you have a gun? And he said, I didn't know there's a gun in my car.
Yeah.
Just before. Yeah.
Oh my god, how did that get there? It's like, oh fuck, that scared the shit out of me. That was there this whole time. So basically in court, he's doing some deal with the feds, right? And I don't know the full details of that deal with the feds. Meanwhile, the two people that were his superiors giving him these orders, they've been extradited to the United States. So the Justice Department is saying, we don't care where you are in the world, we're going to take you to America and we're going to prosecute you. And so they prosecuted these two mob bosses. They found them guilty, partly because of the testimony of the bumbling hitman against them. And now they're going to be sentenced in September. So we don't know how much they're how what they're going to be sentenced to yet. We just know that it's coming and they've been found guilty. So, justice served. Um what I find interesting is that the hitman's family were living back in Azerbaijan, and when he fucked up this hit attempt, his family back in Baku had to go into hiding and go flee into the countryside because they were
Right.
worried about the mob coming after them.
Yeah,
So
because the mob told them, if you fail, we will kill you. If you
yeah.
fail to kill her, we will kill you. That's what the mob told these people. Sorry, go
So
on. Yeah.
they flee into hiding. They the family of this idiot hitman end up getting a special kind of visa to come into the United States so that they are on witness protection. And they're now on witness protection because this dumbass's mom ruined his mom's freaking life. The mom had to be brought into court to testify against the two bosses because she started to receive calls from these two bosses about her son's idiot bullshit. So now his family is now living in witness protection in the US because of his
Wow.
stupid freaking dreams of being a Russian mob boss one day, and was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll go put a hit on this random woman." Like, whatever. And he was so lacking in professionalism, one could say. Yeah.
Oh my god, he's a fucking idiot. And it's weird to me that he was so careless, given that the mob actually told him that if you fail at killing her, we will kill you. You would think that he would take this job more seriously.
Well, maybe he did, but I mean, maybe there was
Maybe
no
that's
on
all
the
he could
job
do.
training.
But what? Why would the
I
mob?
don't know, I'm gonna make a dark joke.
Yeah,
Sometimes as a
yeah.
manager, the failure of your employees is on you. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Darko say at least he has goals in life, I guess. He has dreams.
yeah,
This needs to be a movie. This is so stupid.
it's so stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to cover this because some of the details that came out in court were even more insane than I previously knew from indictments that were published. And also it's kind of like a conclusion of this like very, very important story that happened a few
Right.
years ago where like the significance of the Islamic Republic trying to assassinate an American citizen on American soil cannot be understated.
Hmm. Wait, look at
um
read these comments.
Oh my gosh, this person,
Oh,
she's fake opposition, and it shows that the Islamic Republic will go make fake terrorism plot to steal a taxpayer's money. So yeah, it's this whole conspiracy against
so
Masih.
this is okay. So here's the thing: there are some criticisms against Masih recently that is justified, and she has lost her popularity among many Iranian people. Okay, but this reaction to her is so fucking stupid. Like, and it's exaggeration, and so there's some part of the opposition when some people have some legitimate criticism of her, but then some people overdo it and come up with their own fucking crazy conspiracy theories, which is this basically. Yeah. But
Yeah.
but it is true that Masih Alinejad has lost her popularity among many Iranian people, especially because she took some position because she supported some separatists and she was never transparent about that, and also because she turned against Reza Pahlavi, which a lot of Iranian people love. So she has lost her popularity because of that.
Hmm.
So
But
yeah,
regardless of people's criticism of her, I find it insanely
yeah,
like disrespectful to downplay what she has gone through and also what
yeah.
she's sacrificed. Like I feel like
Yes.
that's just completely unfair.
Yeah, just criticize her positions. You don't need to dismiss her sacrifice, and don't need to come up with your sub bullshit conspiracy theory. If you have
Yeah,
criticism for her, just tell your criticism. Just say.
yeah. Um, so meanwhile, there are other
Mm.
people saying bullshit. Israel's resolved. They're involved.
Oh my
And this
god.
is an Israeli Jewish plot to puppeteer a war with Iran.
Oh, fucking hell. Conspiracy theories from both sides.
Yeah.
And this one.
And then this is a more supportive
Oh,
comment, basically being like,
supportive. Yeah.
yeah,
But
the
okay, she
opinions are
used to
all
be
over the
more of
place.
an. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She used to be a bigger nightmare when they did this assassination attempt.
Mhm.
Um, but unfortunately, she's not as much anymore. We did get 2 super chats. Do you want to address those?
Oh, fantastic. Um, Flying Robot Duck gave a super chat saying this guy is the Wile E. Coyote of Hitman,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And Asian-American is asking a different question, saying, would the Eucharist from the Communist Party of China's bishops be valid? I mean, as long as it's following the tenets of canon law.
I mean, the Vatican Church has submitted to PRC, and they bend the knee to their method. So I guess according to the Vatican, it is right.
Yeah.
Do we have? I think we have 2 more minutes for me to be able to advertise something. Can I do that?
Oh, sure.
First of all, guys, please like the stream. Leave a comment, and also, if you are financially in a stable position, please consider becoming a member. Our memberships are basically the reason why we can still do this. So please consider supporting the show by being a member. And I also want to advertise not this. Remove this. Put this up. If you are either Iranian or care about Iranian stuff, there's going to be a pro Reza Pahlavi gathering in front of the White House on April 13th between 2 to 4 p.m. And a lot of Iranians are going to be there. They're going to have the actual real flag of Iran there with them, and they are going to come and show their pro-Americanism, and also to show to American politicians that Reza Pahlavi is the Iranian people's choice as their representative. These other leftist, separatist opposition groups are not representative of Iranian people, and America, and also not the MEK. So all these American
Mm.
politicians who are getting close to the MEK, or they're getting close to leftist, Marxists, and separatists, that those are not the groups that the Iranian people that want the American politicians to get close to. That they are in front of the White House to tell you the person that the Iranian people want Americans to talk to as a representative. So if you're in close to Washington D.C. On April 13th, consider going there between 2 to 4 p.m.
Wait, can I actually share a little anecdote? I think is funny. I forgot to mention this when talking about my trip in London. I was out kind of in the Soho area one day, and I legitimately just stumbled across this pro-Israel demonstration. And I walk over, I was like, "Oh, I gotta go check this out. What's going on over here?" And it was so funny because as I approach this demonstration, I see that the pro-Israel demonstration is heavily Iranian, super heavily Iranian.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
"Oh,
Yes.
whoa!" Like a lot of lion and sun flags, da da da, and just like demographically, who was inside the little cordon off area. And I go up to them. I'm
Mm.
like, "Oh, hi! I'm a tourist. I'm curious about what you guys are doing. Like, can I come in and can can I come in and check things out?" They're like, "Oh, are you supportive?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Okay, sure, you can come in." So I pop in and I'm like putzing around and just like checking it out. And they have all these signs that are saying free London from terror supporters.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.